everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Don't click away, you are on the correct video if you are looking for a wild rose by any other name. This is not a mislabeled episode. There was a mishap. Thankfully, I have ways to correct the mishap, but there was still a mishap. Unfortunately, due to, we'll just say it's my own incompetence, I did something stupid. I lost the footage for the cutscene for the opening of A Wild Rose by Any Other Name. I caught it immediately. Thankfully, it's fine. We are able to recover and continue on as normal. If we ever have a mishap like that, I have ways to recover as much as possible. A few ways to recover footage for if I lose it like I did. Mostly just re-recording it. I've got a couple different strategies. One, New Game Plus, a feature you unlock eventually. You can replay through the main story. Unfortunately, the main story is divided up into chunks. Pretty meaty chunks, and I don't really want to replay through the first third of A Realm Reborn Part 2, which is from Sastasha up to where we are, which is, I guess, not that long. So instead, since all we did was lose a cutscene, we're just going to go ahead and look at the cutscene again here in the Unending Journey. A little book available in any in-room once you've completed quests and I believe just made enough progress in the main story. I think you just need to complete the quest. You'll be able to review any major cutscene through here. So let's see. We are looking for A Wild Rose by Any Other Name has the cutscene we are looking for. Before we do that, I do want to read out the text that Minfilia gives right before we start or accept the quest. And then, yeah, we'll be ready to just go into the cutscene and get back on track. I am so sorry about this. Thankfully, I do have ways to recover in the case of this incident happening again. Also, unfortunately, you can't abandon main scenario quests, which is annoying, but it makes sense. But it's annoying, but it makes sense. Because otherwise, I'd just do that and restart the quest from the start. Anyways, Minfilia opens. I know not what it is you desire. Hold on. That is the second bit of dialogue. My mistake. We Scions have but one objective, to safeguard the future of Eorzea. Among our gravest concerns are the godlike beings known as the Primals. Long have we striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose. I know not what it is you desire for yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea, but I firmly believe that the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Pray consider this when you give me your answer, Satora. Then we have a few options. We can say the dangers are great, or we can say yours is no small endeavor, which basically just kick you out and give you a little bit of extra dialogue, which we've already heard before. For the most part, we've heard before. The correct answer we want to give to start the quest is I will go whither the wild rose blooms. And at that, this cutscene plays.
I take it you will help us. Wonderful! I knew you wouldn't let us down. But come, I would introduce you to your friends in the Order. Tell me, does the name Sharlayan ring any bells? It used to be one of Eorzea's 6 city-states, and was situated in the northwest of Aldenard. The Sharlayans were the keepers of wisdom both old and new. Their mastery over magic and ether was unsurpassed, and even the Garleans knew to fear them. Among their number, there were a noble few who devoted their lives to safeguarding the future of Eorzea. When the realm began its descent into chaos, and their countrymen fled for the motherland, they alone chose to remain here. These noble men and women were called the Archons. Those same brave souls stand before you now. The masked woman is Ida, and beside her is Popolimo. The two are charged with surveying the Twelveswood.
Hello there!
Welcome!
Okay, my turn to introduce someone. That there is Thancred.
He is our man here in Ul'dah, Jewel of the Desert.
Welcome to the team. If I may, The lovely maiden beside me is named Yashtola. Limsa Lominsa has the pleasure of being under her care.
Greetings. I have been expecting you. Last but not least is Urianger, who presides over all affairs within these halls. Pray seek him out whenever you have questions.
Dawn may banish even the darkest night. The words of a dear friend. I am glad of our meeting.
At the Battle of Carteneau, our leader was taken from us. But we did not stray from our purpose. We sought out Minfilia and others with her talent, and together established the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Along with the Archons, those blessed with the Echo play a pivotal role in our endeavor to forge a brighter tomorrow for the realm. Oh, I should also introduce you to Tataru, our clerk. She ensures that everything runs smoothly.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
In time, I hope you will come to think of us as family. But without further ado, I would assign you your first task. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have received a request for aid from the Immortal Flames. Thancred, would you do the honors?
It would be my pleasure. Some days ago, a crystal caravan registered to Amagina and Sons mineral concern was waylaid and divested of its cargo. But there is more. Within a bell of the robbery, several people were reported missing from the shantytown outside the city.
At a glance, one would assume the involvement of bandits, kidnappers, and coincidence. Such crimes are hardly uncommon, and the Immortal Flames deal with their like almost every day. However, this time we have reason to believe that a primal is involved.
Aye, the evidence left behind implicates the Emolja, who are known worshippers of Ifrit. If we then consider the objects that were taken, there is no room left for doubt. The crimes were committed in the name of a primal.
That you may better understand the nature of our struggle with the primals, I would have you play the leading role in this investigation. You have my thanks. If there is aught you wish to know, I recommend you speak with Thancred. He is well versed in the affairs of Ulda.
Ever at your service, fair lady.
And that puts us at the start of the quest. Fantastic. So yeah, that's all we missed. And thankfully, I'm so glad for the unending journey and for New Game Plus providing options to recover in case of incident like that. Also means I won't necessarily have to maintain alt accounts anymore, which is fantastic, except for maybe if I screw up on side quests somehow, but those can be abandoned while main scenario quests can't, which is annoying, but it makes sense. But it's annoying. Anyways, we're going to be going as Pugilist. The general rule I like to go with for main scenario is I like to play with whichever class has the lowest level, or if multiple have the lowest level, the lowest experience. Because experience from the main scenario quest is pretty hefty. 6240 for this one. Yeah, main scenario quests give a pretty good amount of experience, so they're very worthwhile for leveling up classes. Sadly, no experience on New Game Plus, but eh. Anyways, Thancred, hi, I'm having a day, apparently, so we're investigating a primal. Ready to begin, are we? That's the spirit. So then, your mission is to investigate a crystal robbery and a spate of abductions. Crimes which we believe to be connected. Assuming we are correct, it is like that any discoveries we make in relation to one will further our understanding of the other. Now, since the attack on their caravan, our friends at Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern have doubled security over all their shipments. In light of this, it is my judgment that the abductions should be our priority. According to our preliminary findings, the majority of the missing were last seen in the vicinity of Camp Drybone, so that would seem a fine place to begin. A fellow by the name of Isambard serves as the camp's de facto leader. Pay him a visit and see that he gives us his full cooperation. Alright, since Camp Drybone is a place we've been to repeatedly, but in the class quests, for the sake of people who have not been watching those, we're going to go ahead and show the journey there. On our way out, we are able to check out this area now, hopefully. Yes? No? Yes. And we have a big ol' little meeting area with a bunch of members of the Scions. Oh, I see some familiar faces. First off, Brent. Don't mind me, lass. I'm just here to deliver a shipment. Now, where shall I tell him to put it? Brent is one of the 3 brothers who you meet on the carriage into your starting city-state. We met one on our way into Limsa. There's another one for if you start in Gridania, and then I believe this guy is the one who you meet up with if you start in Ul'dah. Alright, we have Ida and Papalimo over here. Ida and Papalimo are the Scions you meet if you start in Gridania. Similar to Y'shtola for Limsa Lominsa, while there are others who possess the Echo, none are near as strong as you with the power, hence our extremely high expectations of you. Is that the same thing you said before? This place is called the Waking Sands, and it's our headquarters. It used to be somewhere else, but then a bunch of things happened and we ended up here instead. Okay, sounds like the main Scions are gonna have the same things to say as before. So, Una Tayun. Why don't any of those blokes know who I am? I swear I was one of them Scions of the 7th Dawn. Only we didn't have such a fancy name back then, and the headquarters was in a far more convenient location. At least I think it was, or is my mind playing tricks on me? Gods, what's wrong with me? Why can't I remember it more clearly? Yeah, it has been mentioned that people's memories of around the time of the Calamity have been weirdly tampered with. Next up, we have Aabatia. Heh, so this boy has Garlean blood in him. Can't say I'm surprised. Everyone knows what happens when a city is sacked, even if the bards choose to omit that part. But Arenvald shouldn't be pitied. Boys like him have a clean slate and an opportunity to write their own story, free of the ties that bind the common man. Arenvald! Oh my god, I love you so much! They say that those of us who have seen the dream are chosen, that we have within us the seed of greatness, that we could be heroes. Even me, an Alamegan half-breed, cast out when his mother could no longer stand the sight of him. A half-breed who once took to banditry just to eat. I'm sure I'm just brimming with heroic potential. You are, Arenvald, I promise. And Ollie. The robberies and disappearances. The Amaja are the most likely culprit, wouldn't you agree? Then again, this is Thanalin. One cannot discount the possibility that moneyed interests are involved. That is true. Ul'dah seems to be a fairly corrupt place. There's various members of the Scions beyond the main ones. Papalimo and Ida, if you started in Gridania. Y'shtola, if you started in Limsa. Urianger, who just sticks to the Waking Sands. And Thancred, if you start in Ul'dah. Beyond them, there's definitely numerous other Scions who don't get too much attention in the main story yet. But you can talk to them and learn more about their own stories, and their stories progress as we go. And then Tataru. Oh god, her voice caught me off guard. All the voice actors actually change when you hit Heavensward, and they get a whole new set that stays through the rest of the game. We'll talk more about that later, but basically A Realm Reborn was rushed in order to get something out to replace 1.0. So they had to pick just random... They just had to pick what voice actors they had on hand, just as temps. And Tataru's voice is definitely a contrast, because her official voice from Heavensward and onwards is Karina Reeves, who voices Fiora from Xenoblade, so... Yeah, no, there's actually a lot of Xenoblade voice actors from Heavensward onwards. Anyways, that's for later. So Tora, how goes it? All's well here, at least on the bookkeeping front anyway. Tataru, I love you. Oh, there's so many good Scions, I love them all. Anyways, let's head out to Camp Drybone now, make our way over there. So, riding the Chocobo Keep will probably be the best way to do it. Then I don't have to do anything. I get to just sit here and enjoy the Chocobo music, and you get to see the optimal route. For those who have not been following the class quests, where we happen to go to the Camp Drybone area. We already do kind of know the route to Ul'dah from here. Nah, we'll show it just for completeness sake. But god, the Chocobo music in the Final Fantasy games is such a fun tune. Why are you drifting so close to the wall, Chocobo? I like that odd angle we are doing. But yeah, main road goes through Horizon, and then back south across the bridge into Ul'dah. God, Ul'dah really is a massive city, which makes it all the more despicable how they treat the refugees. They are clearly a wealthy city, and they just leave the refugees out on the outskirts of town. I was talking with my partner and one of my friends the other day about Into a Copper Hell and how fucking horrendous that quest is, politically speaking. They pointed out that Ul'dah was absolutely just going to use the refugees as a meat shield, so we really were caught between a rock and a hard place. The people who actually deserve to get shat on and attacked by the giants, by the Hecaton chairs, were absolutely just gonna throw innocents in the way. And that's bullshit, and I wish there was a way that we could have just ended it peacefully. Maybe thrown the CEO or whoever of the mining company at the Hecaton chairs, let them get revenge. Very justified revenge. But no, unfortunately, we don't have that level of power yet. Fuck Ul'dah. Of course, my Ul'dah hate aside, the other city-states definitely have their problems, don't get me wrong. Just Ul'dah strikes several nerves with me. Several very specific nerves. But every single one of the city-states has their own fucking major issues. But at least when we were doing the tutorial dungeons in the Black Shroud and in Lenosia, at least then the quests were at least not that objectionable. We were dealing with pirates who were kidnapping people, and we were dealing with a cult that was trying to revive the dead or summon Void Scent, or both. It was terrible. Anyways, to get to Camp Drybone from Ul'dah, we're gonna head out into Central Thanalan. The path is north across the bridge up to Blackbrush Station, which has an Aetheryte. And then we're gonna head all the way east to the Clutch into Eastern Thanalan. Honestly, as much as I don't typically enjoy the aesthetics of this type of area in video games, like this whole savanna desert area, with the mesas over there, honestly, Thanalan is very pretty. It's very well done, I think. Even for, I think this is still on 2013-ish graphics. With the next big expansion, 7.0, there's supposed to be a major graphics overhaul. Or at least the first part of one, which is exciting. And that'll probably make these earlier areas even prettier, which will be really neat to see. I cannot wait. One of the things they've already shown off is they have a new foliage system, so all the grass and bushes will look even better. Not that they look particularly outstanding, but they work. They do work very well. But I also can't wait to see how the graphics overhaul just improves it to make it look better. Because you can definitely notice a bit of billboarding in quite a few places, and it fits well enough, but it could always be better. Thank goodness we don't have to fight any of the enemies we're passing through here. I mean, they're all like level 14, 15, so it's not a big deal, but... Now, could I have just teleported all the way to Camp Drybone? Absolutely, but I wanted to show the routes. Let's see. Okay, I can't teleport while we're on the Chocobo. Just wanted to look at the cost of teleportation. Alright, and that brings us to Camp Drybone, which has its own aetheryte. Alright, what is the cost of teleportation? It is, to get to Horizon, 160. But that's because Horizon is a favored destination, so it's half, so it'd be more like 320? 320 versus like, what, 60 gil we spent to get here on Chocobo, when it only took like 6 minutes? Not too bad of a trek, and we get to listen to cool music along the way, so I'm happy. Hello, Isambard. I am here for the investigation. I am Isambard, here to search for the missing folk, I take it. Minfilia sent word that an adventure fitting your description would be along. She also warned us to be wary of the Amalja. It seems we know who the culprits are at the very least. Now, I bear no official title at this camp, but the people here have come to look to me for leadership. You have my word that I'll do all I can to help see the victim safely returned. Alright, and that completes A Wild Rose by Any Other Name. Yeah, a lot of the quests are going to be... yeah, we've talked about this before, but a lot of the A Realm Reborn quests are pretty simple. Go to place, talk to someone, you're done. Later expansions from Heavensward onward will start to combine a lot of those simpler quests together to be just multiple tasks in a longer quest. But for now, I'm fine with the relatively shorter quests. Anyways, we have made it to Camp Drybone. Go ahead and get that aetheryte if you're playing along, and next time on Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, we got a good chunk of experience for Pugilist. Jumped us like a third of a level? Something like that. Anyways, next time on Final Fantasy XIV, we are beginning the investigation with an unsolved mystery. I'll see everyone next time for that and hopefully no more losing footage.